Okay, hello everyone. This is part 2 on Lindsay Clancy and Patrick Clancy. If you did not watch part 1, I would stop the video here and go watch part 1. So now I'm looking at the tarot cards. Remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. This cannot be used as facts, but only opinions. Okay, so we got Page of Pentacles here in reverse. Let's get a clarification on that. We got Six of Wands. All right. I wonder if there was financial issues. Page of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Wands. There was definitely some kind of financial issues or things were tight. Money was tight. We got the Hermit here. He was in a self-isolation. He was very deep within his ego. I don't think he could give, or he felt like he couldn't give anymore. I feel to Lindsay. Because we got Hermit, which is here, which is more of self-isolation. We got the Six of Wands. And then the Page of Pentacles. I feel like where he's coming from is he felt like his needs were not met. He feels like his needs were not met, were not being met at the time. Okay. We got the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is reckless behavior. We got the Eight of Pentacles. I'm not really feeling emotions here. I do feel like he was definitely worried about what she was going to do. There's the Knight of Swords, no communication here. I feel like there was, I feel like when this is like I feel like when they did communicate, there was a lot of arguments. And there was a lot of not hearing each other. I feel like she was asking for help. I feel like there was definitely a lot of help that she was asking for or did ask for. And maybe felt like he was not going to give it to her. I do feel she wanted more emotional help, more nurturing. There's a lack of, you know what this feels like to me? She craved being nurtured. She wanted to be nurtured. She was very focused on how the relationship was in the beginning, but didn't understand where the relationship, when they began having conflict in the relationship, because it seems sudden and she doesn't understand why. Okay, so I see her stuck in the past, reminiscing over the past in the beginning of the relationship when he was more nurturing. That's what she was craving, was him being nurturing, right? And so I'm seeing like no nurturing here. I'm seeing like an exchange, more of just an exchange of like roommates living together, that sort of a thing. Like there's no communication here. And I think at the time, yeah, there's the Four of Swords. He was like exhausted here and being in reverse. I feel like he was just too exhausted and has given up at this point to want to communicate. Yeah, Five of Pentacles in reverse, left out in the cold. I think he consistently thought about leaving her out in the cold, consistently thought about running away, escaping. This is escaping. But he felt obligated because marriage, there's the Judgment card, and then the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles on what to do, which I don't see him wanting to be the sole provider here, especially of the children. Right? Because this is leaving her and the kids. Yeah, there's a child with her And then there's a 3 here, which represents 3 kids. I do feel like he was thinking of himself in this moment. And I also see she was thinking of herself in this moment. Neither one of them, I'm not seeing really thinking about the kids. Just very operating in like a robotic sense. Just by routine. Daily routine. 4 of Cups. Yeah, I see them both just being very disconnected. Feeling just emotionally disconnected. This is like, you know how silence can sometimes echo even louder? That's what I'm hearing. The silence in the relationship. I feel like that's her subconscious coming through, giving me that message, which is like the silence echoed louder. Like even though there was no communication, I could hear the silence even louder. So this gives me the feeling she was very intuitive. That, and I feel like there was definitely more than likely her subconscious mind, the dark side of it, that she may have avoided had came to like the surface, like her darkest wounds. There's like a deep abandonment wound here that's like, I don't want to be left, I don't want to be abandoned. And so I do feel when it comes to Lindsay Clancy, I'm definitely getting a very clear feeling of how she perceived that energy, the circumstances at that time. It's just very, this is being absent from reality. We got the Page of Swords in reverse, the lack of just like communication again. Communication was like very important to her. And I feel like there's a complete shut out, like shut off. Yeah, there's this strength. Fear of walking. Look at this, like 6 of Swords. We got the Strength card here. And then again, another walking away card. The 8 of Cups in reverse, which is desperately trying to hold on, needing a sign. It's like she wanted a sign. Like, I think she was consistently waiting for signs, which doesn't give me the feeling of somebody who's in a complete psychosis or someone who's in and out of psychosis, because there's the consistent thought of needing a sign, whether I should stay or go. So I definitely see the unaliving thoughts here, which is the consistent stay and go. And she was ready, like she was waiting for him to give her those signs. There's the 7 of Wands. That was done. She was done fighting, right? When it's upright, this is having to really guard yourself, to fight a battle, right? It was just kind of like, this isn't a battle worth fighting for anymore. There's the Hangman in reverse. She wanted to be unstuck. Okay. Now I looked up their zodiac sign. She's a Leo and he's a Gemini. Okay, so this is the Hangman being in reverse. So this is the strength, right? She just felt like she was out of strength, that this would take so much work that she don't know if she could do in order to be able to move forward. The 10 of Pentacles, family. That's the legacy. She was fighting. Okay, I see what this is. Okay, she was fighting to keep an image of her family together, right? This is someone who's fighting to keep their legacy going. The family, happy couple. Look how they're happy. There's 3 kids on here, and then there's them 2, okay? She was fighting to keep the legacy going. And then that illusion just shattered. She felt like everything was being destroyed. Yeah, the 5 of Wands here, which is trying to fight to keep her family. It's like together. The King of Swords, he didn't want to. the Wheel of Fortune. He didn't want to. Like, this is him wanting to leave. And I feel like she found text messages, she found emails, or found something. Because she was spying. The Hangman. This ticked her off. Like, there was a reason why there's a complete... Like, this reminds me of... what is it called? A split. Like... experiencing something that's like your worst like fear in regards to like her. There's like a complete split here where it's just like she felt like her whole world was shattered. The Devil, she found toxic things that he was doing. Like there was something to do with something toxic that he was involved in. Yeah, he was, okay, where he was going, where was he traveling to? Why was he reaching out to this other person, this woman, right? He was looking for love, and then there's like meeting, Six of Swords, meeting up with this woman, and he knew that, the Ace of Pentacles, and she knew that. She had the proof, the record is here, and I feel like this is something's going to get exposed. The King of Cups, she in reverse. Yeah, she like knew he was going to separate from her because there was talks about it, like something she found. She found information as she was looking, and she found information, and it was like when she brought it to brought it to him, it was like he used that against her, which was like one of her worst fears, which is, I'm being told I'm crazy even though I'm not crazy. And she has the proof, but there's manipulation. There's lying to her face, okay? Yeah, there's the Star and the Page of Pentacles. He's coming through as the Page of Pentacles here. He came through in the last cards that I just pulled. The Seven of Cups, which is like you're making it up in your head. It's like being accused. Five of Cups in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Cups here. Illusions. And then we got the World in reverse. So there was definitely accusations, I would say here, and there's meeting on social media. He met somebody on social media. This could be finding dating apps, Facebook, something like that. There was a track record, something to do. Yeah, there was a track record. He was afraid things were going to get thrown off. This is trying to like protect himself from something being exposed. Where he was going, the Devil. I think he said like this was some kind of work trip with the Page of Pentacles, and it really wasn't a work trip. It was like something to do with work, but it really wasn't. Yep, the Ten of Swords. There was a betrayal. She was completely betrayed. This is someone who's not well. Yeah, he said he was going to work when there was some lies about it. Whether he went to work but then was meeting somebody there that he either worked with or knew, that he met on social media. But there's the Ten of Swords, which is she's feeling at her worst, right? She's needing nurturing care, being nursed back to health. And this is being like played in her face. That's where a lot of that's what I feel like did a lot to her mental health that she was already experiencing. Yep, the King of Wands. Yep. The Eight of Wands. She was very focused on where he was going at, because he was leaving. There was also a whirlwind of like information that she found that was devastating about her family that their family that they have together. Her security. The King of Pentacles, this is like, he's not who I thought he was. He said he would never betray me. Six of Pentacles. The contract that they have, their parents, home, house. And that it was like he wanted to walk away from that. Four of Cups, like it wasn't enough. And that's what she felt like. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, why wasn't it enough? I gave you everything that you wanted, the kids that you wanted, and she just felt like it wasn't enough, allegedly. Yeah, the Nine of Cups. It's like, I gave you what you wanted, which is wishful thinking. These are wishes. Like, she felt like she gave him what he wanted, but he didn't fulfill like her wishes. Instead, he wanted to leave. Look, the Emperor's in reverse. He wanted to leave when things got harder, when she felt like you're supposed to stick together and work through things when they're hard. That sort of a thing. I feel like there was some sense of loyalty that she had towards him at one time that she felt like he had. But in the beginning, I think that's why like she keeps bringing me back to the past. Where did that go wrong? Where did the loyalty, where did that end, basically? Like, she couldn't accept a certain character that he presented himself in the beginning of the relationship to how he became. So she didn't understand like the switch up, the change, why he was acting different, why there was silence. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. And so it left her in a place of having to like investigate. There's the Eight of Pentacles. Left her in a place of silence where she had to investigate the Lovers. Yeah, exactly. Where he was doing. Following his tracks. Seven of Swords. Exactly. Like literally, this is someone being sneaky. Because she felt like she had to be sneaky because she thought that he is doing things like behind my back. Which I think made her even more paranoid. Yeah, I got the Five of Pentacles here in reverse. She felt like he was sneaking away, leaving her out in the cold to be with somebody else. The Lovers. This is also Gemini, the card, right? So that represents his zodiac sign. He was leaving their environment, being sneaky, left her out in the cold to go literally see somebody else. Queen of Swords in reverse. So he invested more into someone else, and she was envious of that. She was envious of what he created, or what she felt he created with somebody else, which is the Knight of Wands. There was extreme jealousy here. Nine of Wands, but he also was trying to protect her. Like, who this mistress is. Like, he's trying to protect her. Okay, I see him trying to protect her, and also him not wanting to walk away from her. There's the Eight of Cups, okay? Him not wanting to walk away from this other woman. The Knight of Pentacles. She would reach out, he would reach out, right? So this was definitely something that was ongoing, allegedly, for some time. The Hermit, that has been quiet. The Nine of Pentacles is not quick, right? So it's not a quick relationship that begins, a connection that just began. It could have started as a friendship, and then it progressed to more. This is her energy, Lindsay's energy, of what she feels happens. What she feels happened, okay? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And we got the Seven of Wands in reverse. Yeah, she just felt like it wasn't worth fighting for. We got the Sun. That he didn't find her family worth fighting for. So it's like, well then, we're going to all have to leave. That sort of a thing. Her and her kids. Because she felt like she was being pushed out. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Like, she sees this as we're being pushed out, and she's thinking about it a lot, right? We're being pushed out. There's the Queen of Wands. There's, and then we got the Sun. This is a Leo. This is like we're being shoved out. She's not well. And so it feels like to her that, hey, this is, if he's not willing to fight for this relationship anymore, this marriage and family, she feels doomed. Yeah, there's the Wheel of Fortune here, which is fated events. The Empress, she felt like she was a terrible mom. There's a sense of blaming herself as well. There's the Empress in reverse. This is her feeling like inadequate, like I'm not a good mom. Or she won't be able to uphold that dynamic of a mom and dad together, right? There's something about having a mom and dad together. It's her upbringing. Like I need mom and dad together for the kids. There's a belief here, a strong belief of that. And she felt like that she was losing that. All right. So what I'm going to do is do a part 3. So I'm going to end this reading here. Thank you for watching. Remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. This reading cannot be used as facts, but only opinions. Thank you for watching.